What's the most important business-related issues right now in Charlotte?
Employment in my world is a big area. The city's done a great job of diversifying the industries since 9-10 timeframe. From what was perceived at the time predominantly financial services, but there's construction, development, manufacturing, distribution. Services is pretty encompassing, but when looking at the business landscape, I think that we've done a good job of diversifying that, but a lot of people don't realize all the companies still moving to Charlotte and the consolidation of businesses in Charlotte with private equity firms doing lots of roll-ups, which is exciting. Just be great to see more of it, and the employment landscape open up a little bit.
Businesses and people in finance especially like nice stable trends and predictability, and it's really hard to see that. And a lot of entrepreneurs are kind of delaying decisions of merit until we get on the other side, maybe in the beginning of next year.
I couldn't agree more. It is certainty, and it's macroeconomic issues affecting so much locally, because I believe our market is spending so much time right now preparing for the next cycle that we've got a great pipeline, but it's sitting waiting to understand what's going to happen with cost of capital, what's going to happen politically. Couldn't agree more.
We do continue to try to reach out to our companies and our partners and say what's happening. When they have a pause, our students just keep moving because they're in the pipeline of talent development, but we want to be responsive. So as business and industry is trying to find their space, we have to try to stay on the cutting edge and make sure we're listening to our companies. But our students are also in programs where they want to transfer to a 4-year degree. Those take some time, and so as things are level setting, thankfully our students have the ability to kind of absorb that cushion as the markets kind of, if it's going to be business, what type of business? Am I going into financial services? Am I going into accounting? Or do I want to be, work on the manufacturing floor or lead a manufacturing agency? So we have that, we try to have that responsiveness as best.
Well, when I think greatest assets, I think Center City has long been a huge asset. And Michael, you have a key role. Talk to us about transformation of the Center City.
Momentum is not a destination. It's something that you have to commit to, and every generation owes it to the next to make those power moves. Downtowns across the world have faced headwinds like we've not known since the 70s. And it's stay-at-home orders, it's expensive capital, it's uncertainty on financeability of things, and it's issues of public safety. And those are things that this community has demonstrated a real commitment to addressing. And there's interesting moves. We've got a great chief of police in Johnny Jennings. We've got a great DA in Spencer Merriweather. They're bringing creativity to solutions around public safety. And there's been great commitment, again, from senior leadership to make sure that we're intentional and prepared for the next cycle with our Center City. There's an interesting change going on right now. We've always aspired for our downtown to be more than a 9-to-5 place, but to be a more complete place. And it's interesting, all these COVID challenges have created vacuums, and we feel like it's evolving from a central business district to a central activity district. Having new owners of Tepper Sports, new owners of Hornet Sports and Entertainment, they are both trying to more regularly program their assets. So we're seeing these giant spikes in hospitality. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
One of the things people have mentioned already is the importance of education. And we have community colleges are kind of having a moment right now. And I kind of wonder, we have a leader here, and Michael is very involved at UNCC as a leader. Are we making the investments in education to make Charlotte a really key education center?
I do think Central Piedmont is more blessed than others throughout the state. Obviously, we're in a very urban core. Mecklenburg County has been very generous and very good to the college. We have 6 amazing campuses with facilities that are really unmatched. They look university-esque. Some of our small suburban campuses, some of our sister colleges in the rural parts of our state, which is, they don't have those types of facilities for their community. So I remind our team all the time, the taxpayers of Mecklenburg County and the state have been good to the college over the years. and we're gonna be good stewards of those. And so while we are tracking back, we're at 48,000 plus head count, tracking back towards our highest of enrollment pre-pandemic. We have capacity at the institution, we have capacity in ourselves to continue to meet the needs of our community in terms of workforce development, really 300 plus programs. Whatever you can dream or imagine that you want to place in this beautiful, vibrant city and county to take place in, the college can get you there. We have amazing transfer partnerships. Yes, UNC Charlotte's our largest transfer partner. I'm really proud of that. But really, we're the hub of so many things, whether you want to go straight to work, workforce development, or to a four-year institution. So I do think the county and the city and the state have been really good to us. But it's beyond what they have done for us economically. It's beyond what they've done for us in terms of the facilities that we offer our students. This is a great city and a great community, and that collaboration and call to action of there's so many people who want to be here, and so I don't think anybody lets anything rest aspirationally. It's what can we do more in order to not be better, to just say we are better, because we have such great people, and it's really how do we lift everybody up. So I think the centerpiece of that obviously is education and the college, and I hope in those conversations and what we're able to produce, we mentioned manufacturing, there's so many other things that we're producing well, but more importantly because that's what business is asking us to do.
Trip, you have got a bunch of beautiful multifamily units designed all over our community. Is that market still strong?
We're seeing construction costs moderate a little bit, and I think that particularly on multifamily wood construction, you're going to see those trades get more and more eager to get hungry. We're seeing a lot more people come to the table on bid day. So I think that's going to ease a little bit, but I think until we start seeing actual rate cuts, I just think that a lot of these players are going to stay on the sidelines. And we're sort of, I don't know what I was talking to this about earlier, but we've kind of been blessed as we've grown as a company. Our projects have become larger and nicer, and with some of the best developers in the country that have want to have a beachhead here, and but they also are the first to go on hold because they're expensive and they're challenging, and a little blip on the interest rate makes a difference whether the deal works or not. So we're hopeful that a lot of those deals come back alive. Towards the end of the year, there's some developers that are willing to spend money with us designing the project to be shovel ready, first of the year when they think that things are going to improve. So I'm a big fan of that program.
Yep.
But it's challenging still right now.
What I think is fascinating is a mega trend that so many cities are dealing with. We look right there, we see these lovely apartments. And a couple of years, there are going to be school buses out in front of them, because apartments are inherently designed in cities like this for a demographic of people between the ages of 21 and 31. And then at some point, almost like it's some kind of nature show we're talking about, they move from that estuary on to home ownership. And therein which lies the rub. We just don't have a lot of product. For all kinds of reasons, we're not seeing transition. Charlotte is going to face a real inflection point, is how we figure that out. We'll continue to attract young people, but then we're going to have people that need to be part of the equity game a little bit and provide that equity and provide that kind of significant ad valorem that we need. And I think that's the next issue. And be curious to see how architects and urban planners and how the economists figure this thing out.
What have I missed? Anything that anybody is burning to share?
Well, I think in business, no matter where we sit, we need to continue to be mindful that people are making their choices very different. Why are they choosing Charlotte? Why are they choosing this job over that? Why are they choosing this college over this one? Why are they thinking entrepreneurially and making decisions about transportation, where they want to live in an apartment or try to get the American dream and own a home? And as we think about the future, we need to be mindful that people are still making very critical decisions based on the class package, what we've experienced, what will happen in the next, what's probably happened. You mentioned politics when we started this conversation. There's probably something happening we all need to catch up on. That has critically made the decisions about, but that's very true. And the decisions over the next 6 months and really the next 5 years, I think how people are making choices about their life and where they want to be, their place-making decisions, their workplace decisions, their life decisions, it's just very different. And interesting to see what the next half of this decade, how that will impact what we do in Charlotte from a business opportunity, from a social opportunity, from an access, and just thinking about the assets we have. I think that's a really powerful part of the equation that we really don't know, right?
Mhm.
Which can be very exciting is if we stay on the front foot in this.